This week on the StressLess Camping RV Podcast, we mixed up a tasty treat for you.
We finally remembered to offer our annual Thanksgiving food episode a week before Thanksgiving, in case any of you want to use these recipes next week.
Right, this way you don't have to wait a whole year to use them. We're also going to share with you an RV actually designed by RVers.
What a concept.
Right?
And we have a gadget we just can't get enough of.
We have this week's podcast along with show notes and deals and discounts and all those other things at our home on the web at StressLessCamping.com.
We sure appreciate your likes and shares, and thank you for joining us for podcast episode 334.
StressLess Camping.
I'm Tony.
I'm Peggy.
And we're two RV industry veterans who travel part-time
in a Rockwood Mini Light,
looking to share big adventures and help you with great tips,
tricks,
and discounts.
Now, you might notice that neither of us is in a Rockwood Mini Light right now. You probably recognize Tony's office, but you may not recognize mine. I am actually visiting my mom for a while, and so I'm sitting in her living room.
Yeah, and I'm back at the home base holding down the fort and spending money. But anyway, that's a whole different enchilada.
Oh, yeah. He waited probably 15, 20 minutes tops after I left before he went out and spent some money.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, one of the things we're thankful for that has absolutely been worth the money has been our upfit from ABC Upfitters, which is a custom solar and lithium package, custom made by ABC Upfitters, specifically for how we camp. And it's all using Mastervolt components, so it's seamless integration and just works.
It's always good when something just works. And if you want to find out how it can just work for you, you can give ABC Upfitters a call at 574-333-3225.
That's 574-333-3225.
Or use the QR code that probably is somewhere on the screen, but since I don't know how I'm editing this, I'm going to be creative.
We really are appreciative of our friends at ABC Upfitters. They just do a great job. We just happen to camp a trailer away from someone else who had used them, and they were pleased with them, and good people doing good stuff that just works. It's a good thing. Well, speaking of Thanksgiving and being in the campground.
Yeah. So as we said earlier, we always have an annual food episode. And we usually, since we publish on Thursdays, we usually publish that on Thanksgiving Day. And what we always realize 5 minutes after we release it is, they can't use these recipes today. They're already cooking. So
yeah, you probably already have your stuff and you're probably already cooking by the time you hear the episode.
After how many 7 years or something, we are finally smart enough to put out our food episode the week before Thanksgiving. And so if there are any of these recipes that you want to use for your Thanksgiving dinner, they'll be available to you.
Yeah, it's a good thing. In fact, I was working on the weekly newsletter that we send out, and I thought I'd include all the previous episodes. And it just made me laugh because, we always release them on Thanksgiving. So, hey, we eventually learn, though.
Eventually. It takes a while.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started with, I guess, what you would call the main course, the meat dish. And that was Patrick made for us a Boudin-Stuffed chicken in his rotisserie cooker, in their rotisserie cooker, Bryan and Patrick's rotisserie cooker.
It's the first time I had ever seen one of those Ron Popeil set it and forget it rotisserie cookers.
Uh-huh.
Well, at least in person.
Okay. I don't know that they had an actual recipe. I don't know if this was an ancient family secret or something, but it was delicious. I do know that. And we'll put the videos up, but you can see, or I will tell you that Patrick had boudin that are already sausages in casings, and he tore those casings open and pulled the meat and rice and all the boudin stuffing out of the sausage casings so that he could use it to stuff the chicken. He said in the future, he's going to look for bulk boudin next time he goes so that he doesn't have to unstuff the casings to have it.
Right. It's a little bit tedious to do that. So there you go.
Yeah. You made the video. I've watched the video, but you can tell them what you observed, and there will be some video showing these steps too.
Patrick rubbed the bird with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, a lot of covering. And then put Slap Yo Mama seasoning on, which is really good. And I guess that comes from the name of it is like, man, that seasoning's so good, you'd slap your mama. I never ate anything where it was so good I wanted to slap my mama, but
my mom.
Different strokes.
I hope my mom didn't just hear that.
I think if I were eat something that was really good and I'd want to slap my mama, she'd like next time it'd be all lima beans and liver.
She'd slap you right back.
So then they put it on that Ron Popeil set it and forget it rotisserie, which, you know, you basically stick the pokers in the food and basted it with drippings. And it was really like that set it and forget it thing was pretty darn good.
My understanding is that the pan of drippings came at the end after it rotisseried for a while and the drippings were falling into a pan. Then after it was cooked or nearly cooked, they took it out and stood it up and then poured those drippings on top of the chicken to baste it. And I'm uncertain whether they cooked it longer after that or not.
I don't remember because that was also a drinking day.
Yeah, it was a drinking day and everybody was cooking. So I was in my camper making my videos and Tony was running back and forth between Michael and Micki's camper and Bryan and Patrick's so that he could get footage of all the other meals, the dishes that were being made. So yeah, we'll give you the best we can. And I've asked everyone to write down their recipes. So I will also endeavor to have them all written down and on the website by the time you all are hearing this.
It's another reason to look at the show notes and
that's right.
Check out the StressLessCamping.com because I sometimes suffer from CRS. I can't remember stuff.
Can't remember stuff we're supposed to do.
So then as a side dish, Bryan made an artichoke casserole.
Oh, that was so yummy.
Oh, it really was. In fact, he made it again during Romp It Up because we camped with Bryan and Patrick again then, too.
Yep.
Again then.
So what we found out, it was started with something like I don't know if it was a cube or a pound. Somewhere in one of these recipes, it calls for a pound of butter. And I don't remember if this was the one or not. But
I think it was.
Melted butter and garlic and... looked like some Parmesan and some bread, a whole can of Parmesan cheese and a whole can of breadcrumbs and artichoke hearts and broth. And it is so yummy.
Yeah, I was watching Bryan make this also, and he just like upends a can of Parmesan cheese, upends a can of breadcrumbs. Like there's no... If you're on a diet, you no longer are on a diet after eating this because there was a ton of butter and but who cares? It was so good.
Right. And I don't think we've pointed out yet in this episode, but we do try to make sure that these are recipes that you can make in or at your RV. And while some people don't mind working a little harder than others, for me, I'm like, open a can of green beans and dinner's ready. But even I spent all day cooking and, we wanted to show that you don't have to eat only barbecued hot dogs over the fire. You can actually eat really good meals while you're camping.
They'd be turkey dogs if it were Thanksgiving.
Well, for Thanksgiving, you better have turkey dogs for sure. So Bryan just put all that stuff together, mixed it all up, put it in a pan and baked it. And that artichoke Oh, I almost said dip. It's not a dip. It's an artichoke casserole. It was so, so good.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. And then
Meanwhile,
you made,
I was in our trailer and I made a butternut squash soup. And so I, cut and gutted the butternut squash, seasoned them, put them in the oven for as long as I could. I kind of wish I had put them in probably 30 minutes earlier. An RV oven isn't going to do all the things exactly the way you're used to in the house. And so I wish I had had a little more time to cook it, but it worked out just fine. Then I kind of sauteed some onions and garlic and put some chicken broth and put that squash back in the pan and, and hit it with the stick blender until we had a good, and coconut milk. And we had a delicious, creamy, wonderful, yummy, hot soup. And with 2 butternut squashes, by the way, it serves way more than 6 people. We had squash for dinner for the next week.
yeah. Well, you know what? I think at one point I put the soup with like meat cubes in the crock pot once we got back home. And it was so good.
Yep. We just made it as a base. Oh, that's right. There's cinnamon and sage. That might be it for spices. Maybe something else. Anyway, the recipe will be written on the website to be sure. And so that was really good. And then I do have one picture of the pretty bowl. Not everybody drizzled their coconut milk and put their sage leaves on top because you don't really eat the whole sage leaf, right? So it was just for decoration. So I still have sage leaves in the refrigerator.
Yes, you do. Well, then while you were roasting the sweet potatoes, I was watching Michael and Micki make mashed potatoes. And I mean, there are some people who just, open a bag and add some boiling water and ew, but that's just me. Michael and Micki they went the extra mile. So
yeah, I don't care that much about potatoes, but with the butter and the cream cheese and the milk, I tasted some of those potatoes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Peggy is weird. She doesn't really like potatoes. I could survive on potatoes. So there you go. But anyway, I'm potato shaming you.
Yeah.
Well, so obviously there are potatoes that they peeled and boiled. And then they mashed them with cream cheese, butter, milk, and salt and pepper. And I was really surprised by the cream cheese, but it really makes a nice, not tangy, but it's a different flavor, but it's really, really good. It's, you know what it is? It's like eating a twice baked potato.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, but that would be sour cream, right? And this was cream cheese. A little bit different, true. But yeah, but still really, really tasty. And those of you who are watching can see the video here of everybody taking a big spoonful to give them a good taste test.
Hey, that's quality control.
That's right. Now, I missed that taste test because I was still in the kitchen, and this is actually out of order how I actually did the work. But anyway, I also made some garlic cheddar muffins, and I used the cottage cheese recipe, cottage cheese bread that I introduced last week. And that was the whole reason I wanted to try this recipe. Pretty much all 6 of us that were there, when we're behaving ourselves, we try to stay on a lower carb diet. And so I just wanted to try out this cottage cheese bread. And the first time I did it with like cinnamon sugar and made it really sweet and made it kind of a dessert. And then this time I made garlic and Parmesan, and I just tried to make muffins, and they actually worked out pretty well by the time I put all the stuff in there, that kind of made it a baked good. And I think the secret to it, which I said last week, is wait for them to cool. When they first come out of the oven, they feel a little spongy, a little eggy. But after they cool a little bit, they have a pretty decent texture and really good flavor.
Yeah, they were good. And then Micki also made the Paula Deen, how much butter, y'all? Green bean casserole. I don't remember if there was butter in it or not, but it was a Paula Deen recipe. So
if it was a Paula Deen recipe, you can't possibly have made it without butter.
How much butter? I still remember that episode.
Yep.
How much butter, y'all?
I liked watching her. For dessert, Micki made, and this was the second time she's made this for us. She made it during Balloon Fiesta as a test drive, and she made kind of a pumpkin cheesecake lasagna kind of a dessert. It was layered. There was a pumpkin layer and a cheesecake layer and one other that you'll see in the video and you'll read in the in the recipe. But it and pecans, as Michael pointed out, I don't know if you'll hear it in the video, depends on how I edit, but the original recipe that Micki found called for crushed up cinnamon toast crunch cereal, which is one of my favorite cereals, but when you put those layers of creamy stuff on that cereal, it made the cereal soggy. And so they used pecans, crushed pecans as one of the layers, and then beautiful pecans on top. And wow. That is a really good dessert.
It really is. It was a heck of a meal. We got to enjoy it. It was actually a few weeks ago because we wanted to be ahead of the game for a change. That's right.
And so here I am editing on the day before our episode.
Yeah, but what a beautiful day. Yep.
Yeah. It was a great day. It was a delicious meal, wonderful, just a good variety and kind of traditional Thanksgiving, but little bits of twists. I think cooking a chicken while camping is a lot easier than cooking a turkey while camping, unless maybe you bring enough to deep fry one or something. But the chicken was fantastic and well worth the substitution.
Absolutely. That was our Thanksgiving with friends. Hopefully you're spending your Thanksgiving or planning to, because we're a week ahead.
That's right.
With some of your favorite people, whether they're friends, relatives, people in the campground, whatever. Hopefully you get to spend it with your favorite folks.
Your favorite folks and some of your favorite traditional and or new recipes.
And maybe even a recipe from this episode.
That would be nice. We'd like to know if you do that.
Yeah, let us know. Something that we're working on, there's so much stuff around Black Friday coming up. We've had a number of partners that we've reached out to, and we're going to make a specific Black Friday page that as we start to gather these awesome deals, it'll be there. But we always have really great deals on our favorite products and services page. So keep an eye on that too. It's the things that we like to use in our StressLess Camping adventure. It's all typically products and services that we use ourselves and really like quite a bit.
Yep. So this week's Goofy USA is going to be a little bit different. I don't know that it'll actually come out as a video because I did just have to find internet things to go with all this. It's not a place that we've been. It's just how goofy is Thanksgiving, really?
Yeah, it really is. Peggy found a bunch of cool facts about Thanksgiving that are a little on the goofy side. So, Peggy, take it away.
Well, let's start with Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I mean, a parade full of giant balloons. Do I need to say more about it being goofy? One thing that I did learn was that Snoopy has actually been in more Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades than any other balloon. I think since 1968, I think it was his debut, and he's been in every year since. So Snoopy, if Snoopy's your favorite, he's your Macy's guy. Something that you remember some things from high school, some things you'd rather forget. But one thing that I don't remember where I learned it, but I remember learning that turkeys are so dumb that they will drown because when it rains, they look up at the sky and then rain falls in their nose and drowns them. Well, I was today years old when I learned that that is a fallacy. That is not true. They are not that dumb. Actually, apparently, they're quite intelligent birds. And Benjamin Franklin actually wanted to name the turkey as the national bird instead of the bald eagle. He thought that that was a very respectable bird, but apparently not enough people thought that that was the case. And so we did not get the turkey, we got the bald eagle.
That's not a bad bird.
When it comes to turkey, there are, of course, hens and toms, the boys and the girls and the boys, and all turkeys are actually edible. And what we tend to find is that hens are more likely cooked, roasted or baked for a dinner for a family because they tend to be a little smaller, a little juicier, probably a little easier to handle. Although the toms, if you've got a big event happening or something, or a great big family like I have, the toms come a little bit larger and feed a few more people. So a lot of times in general, toms are used for processing into deli meat or something, and hens are the ones that are commonly used for, home cooking. But that just kind of depends on how many of you there are. There are 46 million turkeys eaten during these winter holidays in America every year.
Wow.
Now, that wasn't originally the concept. Turkey was not served at the very first or, the early Thanksgivings in 1621. Likely there was not a turkey. It's supposed that they probably ate duck, goose, and this one freaks me out, swan. I don't know why that freaks me out more than the others, but I've not ever until today heard of people eating swan. So, Jingle Bells, the song Jingle Bells, was actually originally written as a Thanksgiving song. It was originally called One Horse Open Sleigh and was written for Thanksgiving, but everybody loved singing Jingle Bells at Christmas time, and so it became a very popular Christmas song. There is, you may or may not know this, I don't use this, I use my mom, but Butterball actually has a turkey talk line. They opened it in 1981, and it is a helpline that you can call when you need help figuring out how to cook your turkey. There was a survey done in the year 2000 that found that 68% of Americans don't even like the dishes that they eat on Thanksgiving. They eat them because they're tradition. And what I wish that they had gone on to say is, I've heard a lot of people say they don't like green bean casserole, and I've had a lot of people say they don't like canned cranberry sauce. So I kind of wish I knew, of those 68, how many people dislike those dishes the most.
You know what's funny? I remember as a kid watching All in the Family and the argument Archie Bunker had about how cranberry sauce is supposed to come out of a can.
It's supposed to have those little ridges around it.
Yeah.
I really like it that way, and I have made fresh, from cranberry sauce, and I like that too, but it's a heck of a lot less work to open a can and go sploosh.
No, cranberry sauce comes in a can, and it's shaped like a can.
Another thing about the Thanksgiving leftovers is that they are what led to what we know now as TV dinners. The leftovers from Thanksgiving would eventually become the inspiration for TV dinners. It's actually also reported that more people like leftovers better than they like the day of dinner. And I have to say, once I read this, I thought, I think maybe in a way I do too, because I actually prefer to eat 5 small meals a day instead of 1 giant meal a day. And if it's just leftovers, I can go in, I can have a small bite of this and a little bit of that. But if it's on the day, I have to take, 4 servings of everything because it's so delicious and I overeat. And so now that I read that, I realized I'm going to have to agree. I prefer the leftovers too.
You got to make the stack Thanksgiving leftovers and oftentimes put it on a piece of bread, call it a sandwich.
That's right. Well, that is what I learned, and that is what I thought maybe we could introduce to you as a little bit different version of Goofy USA.
Well, this week for our Gadget Report, there was an ad I saw from a battery company. I think it was Energizer. And they're like, if you include batteries with your gift, that's really like 2 gifts. Well, oddly enough, a company called EBL that makes rechargeable batteries, like just AA's, AAA's, C-cell, all of the normal things you put in stuff. They reached out to us and they're like, hey, have you ever heard of our batteries and would you like to try some? And I'm like, step aside. You have no idea how much stuff we run on your rechargeable batteries. And it's just funny how this company was like, really? Oh, yeah. And so I was thinking of all of the things that we use rechargeable batteries for. And what I like about rechargeable batteries as opposed to, buying throwaway batteries is we can recharge them using a USB recharger in our trailer. So you don't throw batteries away. You always have however many you need. If you haven't tried rechargeable, just regular like AA, AAA, even 9-volt CD, if you haven't tried rechargeable batteries lately, they have really come a long way. Mm-hmm. And so, thinking of this, we have a lot of motion lights that have rechargeable batteries. We have our weather radio has rechargeable batteries. We have
the lights in the pantry.
Oh, yeah. The lights in the pantry have rechargeable batteries. The coffee frother. Just all kinds of stuff. And I'm really a fan of rechargeable batteries and have been since they were terrible. But anymore, they're no longer a choice you make just because you want to be eco. They just are good and they save money. And I'm very pleased with them. So it's kind of funny that EBL company reached out to us and how many of their batteries I already have all over both our RV and our house. One of the things they did send was a little USB powered recharger. And so I tried that out and it's pretty darn cool. So anyway, the EBL is a battery we bought and that we like quite a bit. So if you haven't tried rechargeable batteries and stuff lately, you might want to give them a try. They no longer are terrible. So there you go. That's the endorsement, right? It's no longer terrible.
They're no longer terrible. All right. So I think that you also have a great RV to share with us this week.
When we were at the Dealer Expo in Indiana, you and I see a lot of RVs, and we're walking through this display, and this thing just stopped us in our tracks. And what it is it's a Super C based on the Ram 5500 chassis, and it's got this incredible paint job that's like a desert scene.
Yes.
And I just loved it. No swoops, no swirls, it was just cool. We got to talk with a gentleman from Dynamax about this, and one of the things he told us is it has a suspension by a company called Liquid Springs. And what's special about that is it does allow them to raise and lower the RV based on, like, let's say you're in the backwoods and you need to gain more ground clearance. You just push a button and up it goes. But it also uses that same suspension to level the rig once you get to the campground. So rather than those dumb hydraulic rams, it uses the suspension itself to actually level, which just makes sense. It's lighter, it's one fewer, component, and it just makes sense. But the interesting thing is the gentleman that we spoke with is actually an RVer and actually owned an RV rental company. So there were so many details in this thing that just showed somebody who actually goes RVing was responsible for it. I mean, just the design and the way it's thought through and all the little components are just point to the fact that an RVer designed this thing and not someone sitting behind a desk. And we do have a full review and a video walkthrough with him at our home on the web at StressLessCamping.com. Go check it out. Would it stop you in your tracks? I know it did me. So
yeah,
that's what we have, is that Dynamax Isata 5 Xplorer Edition. The base price on a Dynamax Isata 5 is like $300,000. So this is considerably more than that. So ain't cheap, folks.
That might stop me in my tracks too. But yeah, the paint job on that was spectacular. And it might be one of the first times that I seriously considered a Class C RV.
Yeah. I mean, we're both looking at this going,
we could do this.
Yeah, right.
So last week's question of the week, based on our interview with Melissa from Rivet Supply, was how many states go on to your RV's map? I don't remember how I worded it, but something like that. And I appreciate that those of you who have shared the pictures of your maps, some of you have been almost everywhere, and some of you need to get on out there. And we still have only that one Arizona sticker. We're still working on finding the time to finish that up, but very exciting that we received our adventure board today. I'm not there, but I saw the delivery on the camera, and Tony said, the adventure board is here. So super excited when I get home to start gathering up all my stickers and placing them on our new adventure board. So thank you to all of you who shared your pictures of your state maps with us. And this week, based on those facts that I learned today, I was wondering, do you prefer your Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day, or do you prefer to eat the leftovers? I will say that today I polished off the last piece of lemon meringue pie that was left over from our big family dinner that we had on Saturday. And so, unfortunately, there weren't very many leftovers. And so I kind of missed out on that opportunity from this meal. But Thanksgiving's coming. I'll have another chance.
Yeah, and you'll have all these recipes.
That's right.
Well, that's what we have for you this week. But we, of course, always want to remind you that we do a once-a-week newsletter. A bunch of you signed up last week, so welcome to the family. But in that newsletter, you'll find links to the stories, videos, and podcasts that will help you get the most out of your RV experience. And all you have to do to sign up, it's completely free. You can sign up just about on every page on our website. There's a sign-up form at the bottom of every page as well. Know that we do only send one email per week, period, end of story, and never, ever, ever share your information with anybody. It's only for this newsletter, and that's it.
The other thing that you'll find on our website are the notes for this and all podcast episodes. Episode 334 is the one you're hearing now. So if you just go to StressLessCamping.com, click on the icon that has a picture of Tony's motorhome with headphones on, that's our podcast, and you can read the show notes from all the podcast episodes.
While you're there, you can also check out our favorite RV products and services page, and it's got links to the things we like using ourselves. Oftentimes we have some pretty good deals, and so these are things, worth checking out for your stressless camping adventure. And
don't forget that especially over the next week before Black Friday, but also kind of all till the end of the year, whenever we learn of something new that's a special price or something for holiday shopping, we will be updating that website a lot, that web page. And so make sure that you spend a lot of time in there shopping, okay? And then after you get all the things purchased for your holiday needs, you can jump off of StressLessCamping.com to all those social places and maybe share the secrets of what you've purchased, but maybe you need to wait until after someone receives it.
Yeah. If you're listening on audio and don't want to miss a future episode of the StressLess Camping Podcast, remember that it's free to subscribe on just about any podcasting app. We're always saving you a seat around our virtual campfire.
And if you're watching on YouTube, well, we're just going to give you a second to find the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode, the like button, the share button. Now that's going to take a second, so go ahead, copy the link, run on over to Facebook, and when you get back, we'll finish up. Did you hear something? Did you read something this week on StressLessCamping.com? Did you hear something in the podcast? Do you want to share with 1, 2, or 100 of your friends? Please feel free to do that. We thrive on your sharing, and we really, really appreciate when you do.
That's the fact, Jack. Well, that's what we have for you this week. It's a pleasure to be here with you. We are thankful for your being part of our Stressless Camping adventure, because that truly makes it
Stressless Camping.